36. She is the best when it comes to buying and selling. And of course, she's our own Kathy Helbig from Kathy Helbig Group. Good morning, Kathy Helbig.
Good morning, everybody.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about seller feedback, which is the bane of realtors' existence when it comes to selling a listing. So you were on the market not too terribly long ago, and
right.
You know what happens is when somebody shows a house, almost every realtor in the United States now uses pretty much one system called showing time.
Okay.
It's automated. All the agent's information is in there. As soon as the showing happens, there's an automatic email that goes out that
Sure.
asks a series of questions, and about 60% of the agents don't respond to it.
Okay.
Which is really, really frustrating for the seller, right? So the seller is constantly, you're on pins and needles after someone showed your house.
Sure.
You want to know if they're interested. And then we have to report back, haven't heard back yet, and then we try to call them, they don't respond.
Right.
You send a text, they don't respond. And that starts to get frustrating for the seller, right?
Sure.
So then they finally do respond, but what sellers don't understand is that agents at this point are either 3 days down the road, 30 houses down the road.
Right, and they don't remember what that house was.
They don't necessarily remember. They're just getting this dang email that keeps coming at them, and I keep texting them or calling them, so like, what the heck, I'm just going to give some quick feedback.
Right.
But the problem is sellers will hang on every word
Yes.
of that feedback. And so I wanted to make sure people understand, if you're in that situation out there, that it is kind of an automated thing. It is pre-programmed questions. So a lot of the answers on our end, we see the exact same answer. On your end, it's your house, you've never seen it before.
Right.
So you're thinking, this
Don't like the neighborhood. Oh my God, you don't like my neighborhood. Right.
Well, the biggest one that we struggle with is the first question is, do you feel the house was underpriced, priced just right, or overpriced? Now let's think about that.
Right.
If you're a buyer's agent, if you're a buyer's agent,
Right.
would you not pretty much say
Overpriced, yes.
For the most part.
99% of the houses I show are
Exactly.
overpriced, yes. Yeah.
Sometimes you'll have people say price just right. They'll get that.
Yeah.
But they're not literally sitting down and doing comparables before they answer that email.
Right.
They're going, just want to get this email answered, check the box.
Right.
Price just right is usually the one they'll pick a lot of times because it's the average. And then they move on to the next question, and a lot of times they don't answer most of the questions, and
Right.
then it'll be, nice house, they still want to keep looking, still on the list.
Right.
Well, then still on the list to the seller means there's a chance. It's like Jim Carrey's, there's 1 in a million. They're saying there's a chance, so, but we have been reading this stuff forever. So we have to read between the line of
Right.
feedbacks. And this is where you need to listen to your agent to decide, because sometimes, like, we're dealing with situations now where people are needing to do price adjustments.
Yeah.
And then the sellers are going, but wait, my feedback 8 out of 10 times says price just right.
Yeah.
So, and that one person says it's still on the list, but it's been 3 weeks and we've never heard from them and they're ghosting me. So that's the kind of stuff that will keep you stuck.
Yes.
If you're not really in tune with what your realtor is
Well,
telling you to do.
that's the whole emotional side of it.
It's so emotional.
Yeah, and that's where the real estate agent becomes the
Yes.
therapist,
Yes.
really, when you get
Yes.
right down to it. Here's my problem with that feedback.
Mhm.
So you have pictures online.
Yep.
They come and see the house. They see the house, and the feedback is, bathrooms need to be redone.
Yes.
You knew that from the
Yes.
pictures.
Yes.
Why are you telling me this?
Yes, because here's why. even a more glaring example of that is a house with a 2-car garage.
Yes.
And the feedback comes back, it didn't have a third car garage. And I hear sellers be like, what the heck? The pictures show that, right? It does, but here's why. People are looking for something, they can't find their exact match, so they're starting to waver on a few of their criteria.
Okay.
So they're gonna look at a couple of houses that maybe doesn't have something that they really, really wanted, but if everything else was perfect,
Got it.
then maybe they would forego that third car garage,
Okay.
or maybe they would fix the bathroom.
Right.
So they get there, it's a little underwhelming. So then the first thing in my mind is, doesn't have a third car garage, doesn't have
Gotcha.
the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's why you get that.
So
type
this
of
feedback is great, but also terrible at the same time.
And as a seller who does it once every 7 or 10 years, you don't have the same perspective that I do
Right.
when we see dozens of feedback
That is
come
so
in
true.
every
When I
single
was
day.
selling the house, I looked at my phone every 6 seconds,
All the time.
waiting for the feedback
All the
of the
time.
whatever else.
And
Yeah,
here's
yeah.
just a quick thing. If we have to chase them, they're probably not interested.
It's just kind of like dating.
Yes.
If you have to chase a girl, guess
Yes.
what? She's probably not that
Yes.
interested in you.
Yes, because right now, if somebody showed a house and there's interest, they're gonna call you back and go, hey, because you don't know, it's still got we still have a couple houses in St. Louis that have
Yeah.
interest, you know?
Yeah.
So you don't know, is there 3 people interested in this, or has it been crickets? So you're gonna call back and go, hey, my people really like this house, is there anything working on it? Is there anybody else interested right now? Because they're not quite ready to pull the trigger, blah, blah, blah. No, those conversations will be had. We shouldn't have to chase them for 3 weeks
Yeah.
to get the feedback.
Yeah, we had a great time, and then he never calls. Why
Yes.
didn't he call?
Yes.
He's just not that into
Yes,
you.
exactly.
Really very
Exactly.
interesting. Kathy Helbig, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD, or KathyHelbigGroup.com. You were saying off the air that come Halloween,
Yes, Halloween is
Things
always
get
the
busy.
pickup time. So
Yeah.
we've seen this past weekend, lots of contracts came through. We've got some calls of people ready to list their house again. So it's weird. September, October, quiet, and it was again this year, in addition to the interest rates rising.
Yeah.
But now, we are definitely seeing a little bit more movement again. And the 2-1 buy down is a big push right now for buyers to get unstuck, worried about interest rates. So talk to your realtor or your loan officer
Yeah.
about a 2-1 buy down or interest rate buy down.
Sure.
So that you can get into a house now for lower payments, and then by the time you get to the point where you have to make your full payment, we should see some rates chill out, and then you can refinance.
314-276-SOLD. Buying or selling, she'll take care of you. That's the most important thing. 314-276-SOLD or KathyHelbigGroup.com. Emerson and I thank you.
You're welcome.